All right, 6:01. We've got five of us here.
Yep, let's go.
I'd like to call this special meeting of the Northfield Township Land Preservation Committee to order on June 21st. Could you please call the roll, Marissa?
Yes, I'll go first. Remember to say your name, your township, and your county and state of where you're reporting from. So I am Marissa Pridgen. I am present. I am reporting remotely from Northfield Township in Washtenaw County, Michigan. Christina?
Christina Ferris. I'm reporting remotely from Northfield Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan.
David?
David Gordon reporting remotely, Northfield Township, Michigan.
Judith?
Judith Moldenhauer reporting remotely, Northfield Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan.
Sue? Sue Shink?
Don't see her.
Absent. Tallulah West?
Don't see her.
And Lenore?
Present, Northfield Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan.
All right, we have five. That's a quorum.
Very good. Sounds like Judith's suffering from a flu.
No, it's bad allergies,
Allergies.
really bad.
Those can be bad.
Yep.
All right. Glad you're here. Working through the allergies. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda. Do I have a second?
Support.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries. We'll go to the first call to the public. I see that we have a member of the public or two here. If you'd like to speak, now would be the time. Just click, raise your hand on the screen. You'll be recognized and you have 3 minutes to say anything you'd like to the committee. We're willing and anxious to hear what people have to say. It appears as if nobody's interested in commenting, so we will close the call to the public and move to committee member comments. Does anyone care to make a comment before we start our meeting and move to agenda items? The only comment I'd like to make is that I understand and recognize that everybody is very sensitive about their writing. You've written something and you present it, and you tend to get sensitive when people want to make changes to it, but do your best to listen to any recommendations that we have. I will do my best to do the same. And also, please, if we could make an effort when you want to say something, you don't have to click the button to raise your hand, but just raise your hand and we'll go through the chair, and that way we'll have hopefully have shorter meetings. That's the only comment I've got. And if nobody else has any comments, there's Sue Shink has just arrived. We can move to agenda items. Number 1, review, edit, and approve the summer 2021 newsletter, which has been worked on diligently by Marissa, Lenore, Tallulah, myself, and I see edits from several other members. So, Marissa, you've sent this out in digital form. I like the newsletter. I think we've got a lot of content. I think we could use some more artwork, and I'm anxious to hear what anybody else might want to say about the content that we have. We're not going to make any effort to wordsmith this document tonight because that would be too confusing, but just deal with the content. So, Marissa.
Yes, I just have some, since I'll be the one taking notes and making changes, I would like to make some recommendations on how this will go. The first thing is, I do think that some wordsmithing is necessary. I saw a lot of edits from Judith that I thought were really good, some were small things that I just thought the wording was good. So I went in and I just accepted those changes. So you won't even see those on your document anymore, that it was a comment from Judith. They'll just be new. Although any of the comments that I left, I thought we should discuss as a group for one reason or another. So the way that I would like to do this is to first go through the Word document and look at the comments and discuss those and come to some sort of consensus about each comment. I don't think it should take too long. And then move on to the layout separately.
Judith,
That makes sense to me. So I'm good
okay.
with what Marissa's proposing.
Lenore,
Marissa, could you bring up the Word document? What I printed out was like the colored 4-pager, so I'm not sure I have the latest, so maybe.
I can't do that simultaneously and take notes and write
Okay.
down the changes. But if you, are you able to go to the Google Drive? Because it's an active document, so you'll actually be able to watch it live as I'm making changes.
Challenging.
Yeah, we can get there.
Or
I do
somebody else
get
could
that.
share it. That's an option as well. And you would still be able to see the changes as I'm making them. if
So I
somehow-
can let,
Want me to do it?
yes, perfect.
I have to find
Thank
it.
you.
now.
It's just a lot.
Sure. I have to.
I have it up and I
Oh,
could.
do you? Okay, if you have it up, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess I just need to be able to share my
Yeah, you
screen.
should be
Hold
able
on.
to share screen below.
Host disabled participant screen sharing.
I don't do that intentionally.
It probably just as a default, probably just
Probably.
comes up that
Okay, give
way.
it a go. I click buttons, so hopefully it'll work.
Okay. I'm just gonna
Yep.
expand this.
You got it.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh.
really look at this document. I looked at the,
the
Does it,
layout,
can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. we can.
I think this is the correct one. It's the Google Doc, so.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
the text only newsletter, summer 2021.
Yeah, I didn't
Yep.
look at that. I looked at all the pretty formatted one.
Okay.
Right, and it says that the last edit was made 21 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yes. If,
All right.
and now, Christina, if you click on the comments, you can see. Everybody should be able to see the comments that we're talking about. If it-
Is
up in
this what
the,
I'm,
Up next to our faces, there's a little box. Sorry, that's my phone ringing.
this,
Yep.
Hold on.
Okay.
Talitha's trying to call me, so I'm going to mute myself and answer this.
Well, she wants to be admitted, I think.
oops. There it is.
Okay.
Sorry, we're good. She's in. Okay, so I see you're sharing the screen. This is gonna, I'm not gonna look at the same screen y'all are looking at because I'm going to actually go to make edits.
If you want-
So if you
So
could go
just
to
tell
the-
me how you, and I
if you
can
just
scroll
start at
through.
the top.
Okay. Oop. Every time I click on the body of it, the comments go away. Here it is. Okay.
Those are all the comments. Is that what you wanted, Marissa, or just the
Well,
comments left?
I guess maybe not. Will they show up as we go down? Yeah, I
Yes,
suppose
yeah,
they will.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well then, yes, I'm sorry. I don't need all comments.
Which ones do you need?
You
Open?
can unclick that box.
Open.
I don't need that box at all.
No, you don't need that box. So when we're looking at the beginning, Christina, I like what you wrote, and I would like to include something like that as well. So
And I have
am
no
fine with
ownership.
adding
You guys
something
feel
like
free
that.
to edit or shorten. I just thought some framework was helpful.
Yes.
Okay, and is everyone else able to read that as well? Like, what is it? Does
Yeah.
anyone else have thoughts about Christina's intro? If we can fit it in somewhere to adding it.
So I guess I don't know. Is this anywhere in that pretty page document at all? Did I
It
miss
is
it?
not.
Okay, got it. So I missed it. So
Yeah, I think, oh, can I?
Or if you think it's too late to add something, I'm okay with that choice too. I think that who is the Land Preservation Committee kind of captures these things, but maybe
Yeah.
not in such a marketing kind of way.
right.
So I'm open to suggestions.
And you could
Yeah.
incorporate that, who is land preservation. I have you do whatever you want with this. It's,
Well, I don't know. I think might be too late. That's my personal comment.
Okay, let's
Right.
move on then.
Can I make a suggestion that we hold off to see what the formatting stuff looks like? Because that might determine whether there's space or not.
I hope you all know I'm not going to be able to make live edits. We're just going to have to discuss them.
Right.
it's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. I would concur that we think about possibly putting this in after we look at what's been laid out already and what we have as content.
Okay,
Yeah,
like if there's room for it, yes, and if there's not, that's okay too.
Okay. So then we'll jump to, yeah, there we are.
All right, so I see a yellow highlight here, photo here. I don't have a photo.
Can we get one? I mean, David, can you talk to Andy and get one? Maybe?
Yes, I can. I don't know if we can get a, I don't know if there's a great shot to get of his property because it's 30 acres. It doesn't include any buildings, so it'd be a nature shot, but I can definitely get out there and take one.
Well, I think it would be worth
There's-
it.
There's more of a story to this here, and so I do think, I'm pretty sure that the county was involved in financing this as well as the city. It's just that the city gets the press always because they're the last ones to approve it. But also the one of the things that's super cool about what's going on here is that the farmers of Green Things Farm are going to be using it to increase their production.
That should
They're
be
an Ann
added.
Arbor Township consortium, but they're young farmers who are really pretty dynamic.
Well,
I
that's
think that-
great that somebody's going to be
Right,
farming that property.
Yeah.
We should try to add that.
for sure. I agree. We should add that for sure.
Okay.
And then we should add in there then if the county was also involved. Well, it does say that
Pretty-
finance from Greenbelt and Washtenaw County.
Well, so are you saying that you want to, state that they're young farmers or new farmers?
They're young, they're not new.
Okay,
They're small organic farmers.
okay.
It's
But
the
to say
Green
that they're
Things
organic-
Farm
Say that
Collective.
they're organic farmers.
It is Green Thing Collective, correct?
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, we can
it
definitely add
doesn't say. Okay, it doesn't say that the county was a participant in that Beezer one. It says that it talks about the county. About the.
It says from the
total of-
Greenbelt and Washtenaw County.
Right, have saved a total of 1,437 acres, but it doesn't say that the county
Oh,
was
I get it.
involved with the Beezer one. And I'm in a low internet environment, and so I'm trying to confirm it, but having difficulty.
Oh, Sue, would that be solved by changing the sentence with financing from the Ann Arbor Greenbelt to with financing from the Ann Arbor Greenbelt in Washtenaw County?
Yeah,
All right, we can make that change, I think.
Yep.
Um,
I have just a comment, Mr. Chair. If you have internet issues, one of the best things to do is turn off your video.
yeah, it's true.
So anyway, that helps. It's hard to raise your hand, then you have to do that hand raising.
Do we have with financing in there twice now?
Yes.
Because the
Yes.
first sentence and then the second sentence with financing from the Greenbelt.
You could say our residents through the Greenbelt and Washtenaw County have saved a total of
Or just
1,437
say
acres.
that, right, or you could say that in total, the Greenbelt and Washtenaw County have saved a total of,
Mhm.
in total, because that's what you're talking about.
yeah, we can definitely take out one of those two and make it happen.
Or you could say in total, they have saved just 101,400, yeah, just say.
Got it.
So I looked up the Beezer property and it says and you don't maybe need to put legacy in there, but it was the city, the county, and Legacy Land Conservancy. But that might be a lot of real estate.
David, don't edit while I'm editing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Get out of there. Unless you want to do it all.
No, 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 no.
Do we need to add that?
And say, instead of ampersand, just put and, yeah. Or Greenbelt, comma, Washtenaw County, comma, and Legacy. So it's the three of them together is what you're saying, Sue?
Yeah, it was the three organizations.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah,
Comma after Land Conservancy.
What's that?
There should be a comma after Land Conservancy, after, yeah, a
Oh,
comma
okay.
there. Yeah.
So then can we say then in total,
The three organizations or the three
yeah, have
entities?
saved, right, in total, the three.
I don't even know if that's accurate because I don't know, based on the chart I have, I don't have the Legacy Land Conservancy listed as being involved in that 1,400 acres, but maybe it's fine.
We can just leave it
Well-
with the two then.
Legacy's
just leave it
done
with the
more,
two.
but it gets confusing because some of that's private donations and stuff. You're just talking about in our township, right?
Correct. Yes, Lenore?
You're getting way too technical.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe just say in total,
Right,
1,437 acres have been saved.
right,
In our township?
exactly.
Yeah, in our township.
Can we
In
say?
total.
I don't
I'm
know,
fine with it,
1,000.
with the green belt in the Washtenaw County. If that's what we know it is, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I just don't, want to say, well, was it land? It's good enough to me. And is it saved or preserved?
I'd say preserved I would say preserved instead of saved. I think it's less triggering for people.
Yep, good, works for me, good. I had a comment.
We're just going to say that in total, 1,437 acres have been preserved. Can we just say that? Or within our township, 1,437 acres have been preserved.
I think it's more succinct because you've already attributed the people who have helped with the financing. And then I think it's just cleaner to
Right.
say that
Okay.
the way
In
you
our
suggested, Judith.
township- Yeah, in our township, 1,437 acres have been
Well,
preserved.
we just said township, so do we want to say town? I'm fine with changing it, but it says properties preserved in our township to 20. Do we really want to start with our
I would just
township?
say, I would put what you had in total, for our township. Start with that.
In total? I'm sorry.
Yeah, didn't we have that before? Go back to where you had it, but in
In
total.
total, 1,437 acres have been preserved.
Preserved.
In our township.
I think it's understood.
Okay,
Well, the
that's
other
fine.
thing, can I suggest, the other thing you could say is just say, bringing the number of properties preserved it to 20, and then, say in parens, a total of, 1,437 acres preserved, just make it part of the.
I like that.
Right, exactly. And just get rid of that sentence.
How's that?
Good.
Whew.
All right, can we move on now?
I
I
have one
can't see, I'm
thing.
not looking at the video. I'm sorry. So if there are hands up, I can't see them.
Okay. Is everybody ready to look at the next section?
Lenore had her
No.
hand up.
I thought we need maybe something a little more catchy than another farm preserved
Oh, it's the title?
as the title.
How about new farm, yeah, it should be catchier. It should be snappier.
More
Let's come back,
success.
let's come back to it.
Okay, I was like, well, more success, but just another was like, oh, another one again.
It is like this with an exclamation point on the.
I know, but it was like, oh, just another one, I don't know.
What you said, more success, dash, another farm preserved.
Well, that's what I had is like more success, another farm preserved.
That would work.
Oh, just success, exclamation point. More success.
Yeah,
More
success.
success, another farm preserved. I don't know.
Or what about continuing? Because it's part of a process.
Ongoing success.
Yeah.
Another win.
Continue. I just like more success, but
How about yippee?
no,
Yay.
no. Anyway, something on that. I just like more success, another farm preserved or something. But anyway, if you want, continue. That's fine.
Victory.
Yeah. well,
I like another win for
Absolutely.
Northfield Township.
Yeah. How about just a
I
win?
like that. Another win for Northfield Township's awesome.
And then maybe a
Okay,
subtitle
that's
if I
good.
can get it.
Then you've got the word another in there too.
That's okay.
Well, that's a,
okay.
yeah, yeah. that's
But it's
fine.
okay with, I like that, another win.
This is fine too, is it not?
How about another win for land preservation?
Oh, there you go.
Another win for land preservation in Northfield Township.
Another win for the residents of Northfield Township.
You guys, we're gonna be here all night if we keep doing
Yeah,
this.
I just wanted it something more than just another farm preserve.
Yes.
So, another
The
win.
subcommittee will come up with something better.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay, ready to
I like
move on?
What's there? Ready to move on.
Another win for Northfield Township, local farm preserved.
there you go.
Love it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Love it.
like the local.
Perfect. Very good.
Okay,
We're good.
All right, 5 minutes for the first paragraph. Ready? Set?
We only have 20 more paragraphs or 100. Yes.
If you could just scroll down to the next set of highlighting or notes.
Okay.
So this got changed from the original and I don't know who added hay, but we could put it to good use. I'm not sure that this is the
No.
best medium.
I think it should be pipped.
I don't like
I
that.
think that whole bullet point, that whole thing should just.
Yep, goes away.
This whole thing,
yeah,
Just get rid of
the
it.
township
Yeah.
operating budget.
It's not
Yeah.
appropriate for this.
It's not, it goes away.
yep.
Pip it.
Okay.
And if
Well,
you
that was
could,
easy.
can you go up ahead, up more? And I spoke, our township population, I'm not sure why that has anything to do with land preservation personally.
That's
And,
true.
Yeah, I agree.
I want it to be just about land preservation. And so I would pip that. My suggestion
I
is get rid of
agree.
that. I think,
Then you
between,
get rid of the footnotes, so.
Yep, got it.
yeah, and then our township is square miles and being preserved. And I had a little smirk and could be put to production and only, I don't know, only 6%. I don't think that's terrible. And 6%, again, wordsmithing, but get rid of only 6%.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yep. Okay,
Okay.
that was kind of it there.
We need to have the footnotes.
I took care of the footnotes.
No, do we need to have footnotes at all?
Do we have them?
Do we need them is what I'm asking.
Oh, probably not.
Well, it doesn't hurt.
I mean,
does
it doesn't hurt. They're teeny tiny on the,
All right.
You could probably put the Google Earth up on the same line as, and then a space and do the double per SIMCOG.
Yeah.
Not have two separate ones for the
Right.
footnotes.
Put it
well, it's,
afterward.
if you look at it how it is on the thing, it's like in 6-point font on the bottom.
Okay, that's fine. I'm good.
It's-
Good. Okay, go on.
Marissa, Tallulah is with us now. Just
Yes, I
for-
know.
yeah, okay.
Real quickly then, can Sue and Tallulah sound off for the record?
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
this is Tallulah reporting from Northfield Township, Michigan. I'm remote.
this is Sue Schenk. I'm in Centerville Township, Leelanau County today.
New to right, okay. Was it Centerville County you said?
Centerville Township,
Centerville Township.
Leelanau County
Thank
by
you.
Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Nice.
Lenore and I had spoken about this section of factoids, did you know? And was curious how many preserves there are in Washtenaw County that the county's involved with, and how many, because we have 2 of them in our township. So I looked that up. There are 28 county preserves. We have 2 of them in our township, and the Whitmore Lake Preserve is the 2nd largest in the county. I don't know if that's something that's worthwhile putting in here.
I would like to put that in there. Obviously, I spoke with David on that. I think it's worthwhile to,
Any thoughts from the other members?
It's fine. It could be added as a part of Do You Know, especially since we deleted some things.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, so I'll send you a paragraph with that
Sounds
in
good.
it.
I'd support that.
Me too.
Me too.
Good suggestion, Lenore.
thanks. Want to like your money at work, basically. Your taxes at work.
Okay.
Okay,
Add that. What is
Now, where
that?
did this come from? Where is this going to fit the LPC?
Can I make a comment? If we do this, it should be, I think, upfront.
It is up front.
Oh, okay, because.
It
in-
is on the first page.
Right, but in terms of this text, it's in the bottom, and so,
Oh, yes. Well, this text is literally just the text that I'm going to use to
Okay.
copy and pull into a different program.
okay,
So the
think
formatting
it-
on this doesn't matter, just the words.
okay.
I think it could almost go with the introduction, kind of like, so people understand, well, why am I getting this? What's the
It
point
is on
of
the,
this?
that's what I'm saying. It is on the first page. Like these aren't in order.
Yep.
Okay,
When we look at the format, this is on the first page.
Got it.
okay.
I don't know that there are any comments on this section, were there? And the Centennial Farms, I included it here. It's just a table in the main thing too, so there's nothing really here to talk about.
Okay, well, in terms of this, I did stop at the Rokel farm. They're not I'm sorry. I've talked to, let me start again. Jennifer Delisle, Chair of the Historical Township Society, sent me some of her newsletters. There are photographs that we can cut and paste out of there of the Kennedy farm, the Kemp farm. And I think this Centennial Farms in Northfield Township would benefit from having, a cute photo of a barn or a old farmhouse next to it. So I can send, several of those to you, Marissa. I guess I could share them. I do have them from Jennifer Delisle. But I think some artwork there would be helpful.
And artwork. I just didn't have any like specific artwork sent with the things, just recommendations for pictures, and I didn't have the bandwidth to chase them down.
Okay,
Okay, but I got them. They're simple. Lenore?
good. That's basically what I have on my notes. A picture of one or two would be helpful.
Okay, I have
Would be
that.
nice, actually. It's great. Good job.
Oh, you know what else we should have there? I got from Jacob Donner, who's on the Historical Society. We should have an asterisk there because more than half of these farms are still being farmed. Most of these Centennial farms. I don't know, is that, maybe that's assumed, but
No, it's not assumed. Just because they're there doesn't mean they're farming.
yeah, I mean, they could be lying fallow, but half of them at least are actively being farmed right now. So we should add an asterisk that, to each one that is actually being farmed.
Do we know which ones those are?
I do, yeah. Jacob Donner
Okay.
told me, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Judith,
So go ahead and add you can, when we're done here, you can go back and add the asterisk to those on this document.
It's confusing. It sounds like because they're Centennial Farms, they're all active. If they're not active, if farming isn't going on, what's happening to them?
Well, and the signs themselves say that the farms have been owned and operated by the same family
Right.
for, 100 years, and that's why they got the plaque. So that is confusing.
Well,
Alright.
I would just say that if they're fallow and they could be farmed, it's not really a problem.
Exactly. I wouldn't put anything in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
No
All
need
right.
to draw attention to that. They're not all being farmed.
okay,
But they still can be, and farm preservation is as much about preserving for the future as using in the present.
Oh, I agree 100%. Just not sure we need to draw attention to it.
Then that's fine. That sounds good.
yeah, we don't want to be confusing. That's fine.
Yeah, we don't
Okay.
want to be confusing.
We'll
Good.
just add the photographs then. All right. How can the township preserve land?
Oh.
I pulled this off of another township's website, both paragraphs, and shortened them up a bit. Nobody's recommended any changes, so,
Yeah, actually, Judith recommended a whole bunch of changes.
no, I mean,
It's just a matter
down
of
lower,
shifting
Oh, okay.
down lower, yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm looking at my screen. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's lots of changes in this.
All right,
Can you, Madam, Mr. Chair, can you go back up? I mean, is it really how is the township can preserve land or how, I don't know about that. How can the township preserve land or
how can the township help preserve land?
yeah, something like that. Because it's not, again, or how is land preserved in the township?
Okay.
Originally, the title was How Does the Township Preserve Land? But I think Judith recommended we change it because we don't actually haven't really been involved
Well,
in
that's
that.
what I mean. How can the township preserve land? It's almost like, it's the people preserve it with the help. So how is that? Did you say, how can the township help preserve
Encourage,
land?
how can the township encourage land preservation?
Yep, there you go. Or, yeah, something like that. It's not us preserving it.
Right.
It's really the people, how can we help or encourage land preservation?
Right.
Or even how can, land preservation be encouraged? Or, I don't even know if you need the township.
Well, we're not talking about encouraging it. We're just talking about how we facilitate it, really.
How does?
Or what is the process for land preservation?
Yeah. But you're talking about this PDR is an example, of it. Is that the only way that land is preserved, through this PDR?
No.
That's the thing. That's why I put it, or said can, or, you put it, you qualify it, sort of the subjunctive. So you're not saying that this is the only way, or, if the township doesn't, then we're still talking about, what's the process? Somebody said, what's an example of a process? Or,
Okay, so you would suggest that the headline read what?
or I would still say, how can the township encourage land preservation? Because this
That's good. I
PDR
like
is
that.
something that comes out of the township, right?
Or is the township the residents?
No?
Okay.
How
That's
do
what-
how do townships facilitate
Ah,
preservation?
of land, or
There you go.
yeah,
Either one.
or how can the township? What'd you say, David?
How do
How
How can
townships,
our township?
Nope,
Sorry.
too complicated. It's not just ours.
how do townships
Facilitate land
facilitate
preservation.
preservation?
Facilitate land preservation. There we go.
How do townships preserve land? No.
I think that's way
No.
more direct.
Preserve land? Yeah,
No, I think how do townships don't preserve it?
So facilitate it.
Yes. We aren't going to preserve it if people don't participate in it.
right.
Facilitate land preservation.
Yep. And how we can facilitate it is have a PDR ordinance.
Okay. Is that the only method, Lenore?
From a township perspective, I would say yes.
Okay.
So
this
Well,
is
the
the village.
village,
this is the one.
But that's
thing
not the township doing the millage. It's the people. I said that the millage isn't the township doing the millage, if there is one.
well, we're jumping. we're splitting
Anyway,
hairs.
so I like the
I
title.
hear
but
what you're saying, Lenore. So then we need to change the copy and say townships can preserve land through. We don't want to say that either.
That's correct. I was
Okay.
just gonna say that. We don't want to say that.
I think
Townships can
offer.
adopt purchase and development rights ordinances.
They can also put money toward it. That's something the township could do right now. That's something the township could probably do with APR funds.
All right, we can add that in too.
Our plan.
So again, we need to change the first thing. How do township facilitate? And then we have townships can preserve land through. Again, to me, it's not the township doing it.
Townships help preserve land.
Yep, exactly.
How about that? So we'll
About facilitate, how about we use our own title and say townships facilitate land preservation through,
All right. I'm good with
Okay.
that.
all right.
Sounds good. Through
or using, maybe
Yeah.
using.
or using, right?
Yeah.
But
so. What we're trying to say here is that this is how our local government facilitates land preservation.
mhm.
I mean, for me, it would be helpful if somewhere it just said, that's what we're talking about. That it's because to some people, a township is a geographical region. Like when you just say township, it could be confusing that, to people that aren't on in the government involved at that level might not, immediately think of the difference between a geographical place and the local government. So, I mean, I don't know, it'd be nice if somewhere in there, it just said something like that.
How if we say, how do township boards facilitate land preservation, and township boards facilitate land preservation using? Or township governments?
Yeah.
But it's not just and maybe there's a good reason not to talk about money, but it's not just the ordinance, it's also the cash, or is that, you don't want to just say that right now?
I
What
think
is
we're
it?
getting too technical. I think
I
the
do
way
too.
we had it initially, how do townships facilitate land preservation?
Yep,
Because
I agree.
You're getting too wordy and you're gonna lose people because it's
Yep.
too much.
Yep, I agree. I think how do township facilitate land preservation?
Yeah, townships with an S.
You need an S there. There you go. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
there are other means. I mean, maybe we can wordsmith something in there at a certain point that says, among other,
I mean, you could even
Cool.
say one way, township facilitated is having a PDR ordinance.
Yes, exactly.
yeah, okay, one way townships facilitate land preservation is through PDR.
Yep. There you go. Yep. There you go. Perfect.
Okay,
All right, so moving down the line, Judith wanted to include the millage, not how many mills,
Nope.
and also to include information about us proposing a millage.
Nope.
I am opposed to that action because we haven't taken any action towards that yet.
I agree.
Are we, oh, this is down,
And I
okay.
guess my question is, why is this in here?
What is? I don't think,
Think about
personally, I
how-
don't think, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, it was just that it sounded like how do townships preserve, you're talking about this millage from other townships. And it sounds like a lead up to what we would be doing.
It absolutely is.
It
So
is,
you're-
but I don't, until the board agrees and all that,
Okay, all right.
I think all that should be out. I think
think
the whole
that's
paragraph
fine.
should be left out.
I just think if we're saying, yeah, I think if I feel more comfortable, we say one way townships can facilitate preservation of land is through a preservation of development rights ordinance, or through preservation of development rights. I just don't want to say like that we're telling them all about the way townships can
Exactly.
preserve
So-
land, and it's only part of the story, and then we're going to add more of the story in later.
Right.
Yeah, I think personally, that's one of my intent is, here's part of the story and more of it will come later.
In which case, then I would, suggest taking out anything that talks about the millage, what the other townships did, and just say, this is a process. This is one way to do it.
Right.
Because then I was following that, the stuff about us, based on what was stated from the other townships, because it seemed to be, here's an example of what was done, and then this is what we're doing. So if we're not going to go there, I just recommend getting all of that out of there.
I agree.
all right, so.
I would honestly be fine with like taking out these entire last two
Yes,
paragraphs.
Yes.
Yep, I agree.
What about the one above that?
I think that it's fine to leave that here. I think that mentioning a millage is one thing, but I don't think we need all these details about the other
Yep, I
townships.
agree.
Yeah.
I
All right, seems like we have consensus on that, so let's.
I'd
take
support
five
that.
paragraphs out. Yeah,
So the only thing I have up on the about, we only named 3 townships that have it. So we had a
Well,
list of all the townships. I would
those-
like to
You could
say,
just say, for example, for example,
well, we
uh,
have a number, right, of how
I
many
have, yeah, I
townships-
believe there's at least, there's a dozen townships that have purchase and development rights ordinances on the books, and I have a list of who they are.
Okay,
Um, But there's only 3 others that have millages.
Okay.
So you'd like a sentence in there that has to do with somewhere toward the top about
can you move up a little? Whoever has control, can you
It's
move
me,
up?
sorry,
So Yeah, I think, yeah. I think it would be useful out of, 12 out of the 22, is it 22 counties or 22
20.
townships?
20 townships.
Yeah, have LPDR. So I think it, indicates this is a way to go. Yes, I think that would be a good fact.
Do we have to even mention the millage itself? Can we, just say that, X number of townships have used this process, to support land preservation, and that, that last paragraph you could leave in, but I would just stay away from the whole millage thing, period.
Yep. So let's go up to the top. So we're there. So David, you're going to add how many? Oh, nope. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Can you expand that screen of yours so that we see more, copy it together? Or is that as big?
I'd
as
have to make it smaller,
All right.
and I
never
don't know how
mind.
much you can read that.
You can't, I see. So we're looking at your entire screen and that's as big as it is on my.
Yep.
screen.
Also
Okay.
look
Never
at
mind.
the Google Drive itself and see the changes live being made too, if that's an
Yeah.
option for you.
I'm also, I'm doing that.
So you can zoom in too,
So we would want to have the sentence about other PDRs.
Up at the top where we talk about a PDR, right?
Right, or after, right.
Maybe after the
or-
second
or
paragraph.
After the LPC is working with that, after
Yeah,
that,
either that or we could do that too,
after the third,
right there.
after the third paragraph, and then just end with so far, the LPC has identified 17 landowners, and just leave it with that.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Get rid of those last two paragraphs.
What?
Great,
That work?
that works. And then just the last paragraph is the one talking about the 17 landowners, and then just. get
I
rid of
don't,
the-
I don't think we need that either. I would be okay with,
Oh, sure, if you wanted to.
I mean,
Well, the only reason I put that in there about we've identified 17 landowners because we want to let people know that there are landowners interested, that the township has contributed money. It's
well,
just
we
part
already
of the-
have that they've identified 17 landowners. We already have that up there.
I think
Oh,
just,
wait. Is this in here twice?
Oh,
yes.
it's in there twice. Yeah, we want to get rid of that.
And I think it's just enough to say that 17 landowners have
Yeah, just
interested
what you have highlighted should
money
definitely go away.
with the board and all of that.
I don't think we should talk about our budget here just because
Exactly.
inevitably this is going to get into the hands of people who are like, is this what my tax dollars are going for? So I can get this newsletter I didn't want.
Exactly. I would get rid of the sentences after the 17 landowners.
I agree.
What?
Yep.
So we shouldn't talk about the fact that other communities are doing,
Oh,
are
you can.
competing
We
against
already
us. You think the community is more successful? That last paragraph should just go away?
Yep.
Yep.
So do we mention millage anywhere?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so then basically we should change the top heading because how do townships facilitate land preservation? If you don't mention millage, which is the only thing that is the most effective tool for saving land, then
Well, let's talking about what a PDR is. I think that's at this point all we're doing, right? I think if we talk about millage, it gets into a whole different thing.
What if we don't say?
I'm actually 100% okay, fine with the last paragraph right now that begins with a community is more successful because it is still talking about PDR because a lot of times we need our PDR to offer matching funds
It's
You have to
true.
have it, right.
and we need a pool of money to do that from. And a millage would
It's-
accomplish that. So I do think it's relevant to the PDR, not standing alone as a millage itself.
So Melissa, are you saying that there should be something saying that one of the ways to enact a PDR is through a millage?
No, a PDR allows you to match funds.
Right.
Like we can't administer any
Okay,
PDR program without an ordinance. So we need it to even apply for grants. So I
Yeah,
think that
and we talk about that up front.
I think that this is important because if, you know, the Greenbelt is going to preserve maybe a property in Northfield Township or maybe one in Webster Township, and Webster Township has funding to match and we don't, guess where they're gonna go?
I hear what Marissa's saying, and maybe we could add something to that last paragraph that ties it in with the first paragraph about PDR.
Yeah.
So that people are understanding that there's a relationship between a millage and a PDR. You know, like if it has more skin in the game and the PDR is most competitive when accompanied by a local millage.
Yeah. I'm not wild about the phrase skin in the game. So.
no, me neither. How about, can we come back to this and then move on to other ones? Think
Yeah,
about it
let's
for a minute.
leave
You can
that.
just say a community is more successful when competing for matching funds when residents approve a local millage.
Sounds good.
Okay. When competing for matching funds, yeah.
Which requires a PDR.
Yeah, there you go, which
Good
requires a
point.
PDR,
Well
because then
done.
it
Yes.
ties it into the
Yes,
purpose of a PDR. I like that.
Well done. Well done.
Yep, well done. And then, I mean, you could say, you know, I don't know, you could leave Webster, Scioto, and Ann Arbor Township residents have villages.
I don't know. It shows that they've saved 4,700. I don't know. I guess you could take it out. But it's
Hey.
nice to, we have neighbors that are doing this.
So
Yeah, I think if our title is how do townships facilitate land preservation, these topics fit under that title.
yeah,
Then
I
I would
agree.
say you could say, for example, Webster, Scioto, and Ann Arbor Township have. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Okay,
Super.
let's go on. Are we ready to go on to, thank you for your help clarifying that little
Very
thing
good.
that I put together and making it more succinct and to the point. Tallulah, are you here?
Great, Tallulah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Good job.
thank you.
Really cool. Yeah.
Judith, I accepted all of Judith's small comments. They were mostly just
Little tweaks. Yeah.
tiny grammatical things or what have you. And I added the Facebook information. The only thing that I didn't approve automatically was to delete the sentence, technological improvements help offset rising costs.
And the reason I put in there is I didn't understand how.
Yeah, I had that one gone too
Okay.
in my edits.
Sounds good. I didn't
Okay.
even notice.
But I think it's really great to have that personal story in there.
It
Why?
is.
What's good?
Should we have by Tallulah West, LPC's
Yes,
newest member?
but she's not.
She's
our
not the
member.
newest.
I
We'll
think
say second
identifying her-
Really,
newest
Christina
member.
was after?
I think just
Yes.
mentioning she's the LPC member.
Yeah, an LPC member is good, but she's not the newest.
I'm the 5th newest member, or 6th.
Christina, did you come in after Tallulah?
No, but Judith
No, I
did.
came in before.
So who am I missing?
Judith.
Judith?
Judith, that's right, of course. Jesus.
I'm the last one.
All right.
Judith hasn't joined our committee, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, I had a thought too, is do you think we could actually, and I don't know if this would violate any copyrights, but put in the cover of the Northfield Harvest book?
But we
Oh,
got a picture of Tallulah
Copyright.
in
I know
front of her
that.
house.
No, that
understand.
gets into copyright issues.
Okay, I was just asking.
Is it a
We
copyright issue?
got to make the print bigger. It can't be this small. I mean, just my opinion. And if that means something has to go, then I think some words need to
All the
go.
print is, are you talking about on the PDF?
I'm talking about the pretty Word document. Yes.
Okay, with the pictures and everything.
Yeah, I think if we just, yeah,
It's standard size and
But
it's
it
an
doesn't
11
look
by
it.
17 paper. So, I mean, I
can
don't
we,
think
can we
it's-
talk about that later? And just,
yeah, that's a formatting later. That's
Yep, and then, looking at the PD, the format, I'm sorry, but I think it needs to be consistent with the other ones with columns as opposed to, and maybe you put the.
yeah.
picture in the middle.
Lenore, we're gonna get to that when we're done editing this document.
Okay, got it.
How it's gonna be shaped.
Okay,
We'll get to
sorry.
that. That's
All right.
okay.
All right,
So we can move on to the hikes.
I missed my assignment, I guess.
No, you're okay. We just want to finish this because these are the words that are going to make up what it looks like.
Okay, you got it.
So Judith recommended an edit on the LPC host first of many free guided hikes to the end. That was something that David had added very specifically. So I am indifferent about it and we'll let you all
About
decide.
what?
David had written and wanted to say your tax dollars at work. Judith would like to change it to
your tax support.
your tax dollars support both the LPC and the NAPP.
I like support.
That's fine. It works.
Good.
Okay, good.
I'm not a big fan of exclamation points unless it's really exciting, but otherwise.
You need more emojis.
Yeah. Okay, so are we good here then?
Yep. I think
And
that's
oh,
great.
we can look at the caption later, but I chose a different picture for this hike, even though this is very similar to the article that went out with the newsletter with the tax bills. I
Mhm.
chose a different photo and I'll need a caption, but we can talk about that.
Okay,
when we
yeah,
get there.
I like the local farms. That's really cool.
Yep.
And
The one thing
historical
I
farms, really
noted
cool.
there, and this is something that gets into the formatting, is that if you're going to use a table, it should be consistent between the two different tables. So.
No idea what.
Oh,
that
you mean
is.
because there's the
Right, so the
Centennial
first
Farm
thing
and then
says
there's,
name, address, date, and so you can here say name and address. And if you want to use tables, I was also, and this gets into the formatting we can talk about later, but it's just a note of consistency.
think that we're done with the Word document.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I think it's, I don't know if any of you noticed this, but this list of, I cherry picked the list. There are 118 farms within 25 miles of us that are
Well, why
selling.
don't you?
It's right there. in the
Oh, yeah,
top.
yeah. I see it now. I missed that. Great.
But it's really pretty remarkable how many. are
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
special.
all of these people sell to the public, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
Just real quick, the action items that I have for this document to move forward for the words is that David is going to send me a paragraph about the two paragraphs or about the two preserves in Northfield Township, which honestly I can probably pull from our last newsletter.
All right.
Probably just do that.
Yep.
David, if you want me to do this, I can do that. That way I'm not
all
waiting
right.
on you. We have all of that information and how many square miles they are and
Well, I know that, yeah, I do. I have that. I'll send that to you if you want.
okay, great. Send that to me right away. And then
Yeah.
the only other item I have is a photo of the farm that's being preserved.
Yes, and you're going to get a couple photos that are going to go along with the list of Centennial farms,
Okay.
which I have
Okay, and when are you going to send those to me?
tonight.
Okay, so just to be clear, like I will dedicate like up to 3 more hours working on this, but it can just be like one more time, like, and are we moving on to formatting now?
Yeah.
I don't have a picture yet of the Beezer farm, so.
My concern is getting like I don't have the bandwidth to do like 3 more rounds of edits and to get more information and have to keep making changes.
How
So
about
I
if
don't
you
even want to start working on it again until I have everything I need.
All right, so that brings up a different subject entirely, which is I've got a printer lined up and they will do all the layout. If we give them a rough layout, they will do the formatting so that all the tables match up and do the rest and plug the photos in so that would relieve you of doing a bunch of more hours of this. In terms of the formatting, after we finish talking about formatting, they charge $80 an hour and they charge in 15-minute increments. And with all the work you've already done, I can't imagine they would have.
I imagine it would still take them several hours because they're probably going to put it into a fancier program than I used. I mean, just to be like,
That's possible. We've got a $5,000 budget the printing cost for this to 1,500 addresses is around $2,000. So we have the money to let them do that.
What
layout
about postage?
stuff, including the postage.
I think I gotta believe it's gonna be a little more than 1,500, but we have to look at that, David. But still,
Okay, it can be more than 1,500, but it's 31 cents mailing. We're looking at about $500 in mailing costs and about 1,500 to 1,700 in printing costs.
I would,
Judith?
go ahead. I would agree that we should, wrap up the formatting tonight. And then David, you can take it on and we can relieve Marissa of her outstanding job.
Well,
Only if she
if-
wants to let her baby go.
It's not that, it's that we're almost there.
Okay.
I know, but even after you're all done with yours, we're still
They're
going to
still
have to
gonna
give it
do
to
it.
them. They're still going to wind up having to use their programs to make it
Right.
work.
Well,
I
wait a
would
minute.
think.
Whoa.
Hold on, Judith.
As a designer, this is kind of odd that I'm hearing. So if Marissa has the format, if she converts it to PDFs, all they have to do is print off with PDF. That's all they have to do.
Okay.
And I would suggest that in the future, that in terms of all of this, if we're going to have more newsletters, I'd be very willing to work on the design of the stuff. I've
Cool.
done this for years. It won't cost you a thing. Okay?
Alrighty.
And so one of the things I'd like to do once this is all over is over the summer is to talk about what works, what doesn't, the things you liked. And so work with somebody who would be an editor, who would kind of collect all of this stuff so we could make things move. I mean, having this conversation is great because we've got to have the input. But I think that, in terms of what Marissa's doing, and Marissa, you turn it into PDFs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So then it's all done. I think what we have to then look at is what Marissa does with that. And then who's the printer, David?
Advanced Printing. They're down by the airport.
Really?
Okay. Can we move on though? I agree. This is we'll let Marissa finish where she is, and then we'll give it to the printer and go from there.
If Marissa wants to keep doing it, I have no objection whatsoever.
With the changes that we're going to make tonight, my point is I'm going to have to make those changes anyway to send them to a printer to give them a rough
Right,
layout.
right.
So it isn't that much more work to just finish it at this point.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, next time we can say, hey, here's what we want on page 1. Here's the text. Here's the picture.
Yep,
Here's
got
what
it.
we want on page 2.
Get it.
Right, exactly.
But
We're good.
All right, so I will get that to you, and if there's time, I might even drive over to Andy Beezer's, or we can plug some different photo in there as a space holder, and then when we get the original photograph, we can just replace it.
Question.
No?
In terms
Yes?
of- Marissa, are you sending it to the printer or how is it getting to the printer?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
David's
just
doing it.
just email it to them,
Okay.
I would think.
Yep.
Very professional, don't you think, Judith?
I don't know. I'm just making it pretty.
The amateurs here, amateur hour here.
All right, so let's move on and let's talk about the look
right.
of this bad boy.
Let's talk about the look of it.
Who's going to bring that up?
What did I just do here?
Start with the first page with the 4 pages.
Yeah.
Christina, are you still with us here?
I see her.
Christina, you're muted.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sort of fading at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who can bring up? Marissa,
Oh,
do
I'm
you
sorry.
bring-
What am I supposed to, I'm not sure
Never
what I'm
mind.
supposed to be doing.
Marissa, you want to bring up the formats and then you can tell us what's going on?
I don't know if I have the format.
Well, I've got it here on Google Drive.
I got it. I got it. I
All
can
right.
do it now. I'm not going to be taking, I'm going to be writing my hand notes on this so I can share
Okay.
this.
That's
All
fine.
right.
Okay, can we see?
Yes.
Okay. So, so David, your question was, this looks a lot like our last newsletter. And my
Yeah.
answer is yes, it does. And that was intentional. Now the box on the left was a space holder. Like I took that directly from our old newsletter. That's why you didn't see text about it, because we needed something in this spot here. I
think
didn't
it's
have quite
good.
enough text to fill up the front. but it's a consistent message. I don't think anyone's going to pull out their newsletter from last year and say, hey, they put the same box on here from last year. But I mean, who knows?
I'm good.
I mean, I think it looks very nice. My only concern is it identical to what we sent last year?
It's not identical, no.
Okay.
And no one's gonna
It's similar.
notice.
It's similar, and the formatting is the same, the header's the same, the quote's the same, but that's branding. That's
Yeah,
Right.
but I'm talking about the content, actually,
so the content in that box on the left is the same. The other is similar, but a little bit different. But it's also our intro and what's on our webpage. Like that's like our like external brand statement. You know, who we are, what we do, and why.
okay,
So
yeah, I
That
get
is
it.
a message that you're gonna see, I think, over and over again, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing to reiterate, you know.
All right, so we've got this little blank box on the left-hand side and we can put anything there we want to, like,
Oh yeah, if you don't like what's in there, you can.
I like what's in there.
yeah, I'm talking about this little tiny blank
Oh,
square.
that's for postage.
That's postage.
Oh, this is the mailing side. Okay, gotcha.
That's the mailing side.
Can I, couple things. One, here you can see the problems with the flush left, flush right type.
Mhm.
Really, it should be flush left, ragged right. So
Flush
that-
left, ragged right. Got that.
Weird. You don't have these weird rivers of white that go through from, see how this word spacing changes?
Yeah,
And so that's a problem. I think all of the type should be flush left, ragged right.
I can make that change easy and appreciate your professional feedback on that because it's different. Like I'm like come from academia, you know, and it's different than print. Flush left, ragged right.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
Also, in terms, just a little tweak, that since we're dealing with digital type, you don't need 2 spaces between sentences. That's left over from typewriter days.
It's yes.
Yeah, and
That is like a sign of like I'm like the last generation to do that, I think.
Right. The thing is, with the typewriter, it was not, it didn't adjust the space between the letter forms. So the double space was the visual signal between sentences, but you don't
Right.
need.
Okay. I'll do my best to remove those throughout.
Yeah. The other thing, and I mentioned this, the size of this page measured 8.5 by 11.
Yes.
So I
So
don't.
I noticed after the fact. So I was like literally holding a piece of 17 by 11 paper and folding so I could visualize what needed to go where. And I misjudged this. I was like, oh, this isn't 8 by 10. This is a normal size piece
So
of
it's
paper.
supposed to be 11 by 17.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, got
So yes, so this is like the inner, you know, like a piece, the inner fold, a quarter of each one of these. If you
Yes.
count, this is 2 pages. Each one is a 1/4 size.
Right. If you take a piece of paper and fold it in half, you get 4 pages.
Actually, I'm sharing my screen, right? So I can show you all what I actually have set up here. Let's see. Oh no, I didn't save it. So it's just going to be all sideways. I didn't save that draft. I'm sorry. Let me go back to where I was. But everything has to be tipped on its side, you know, so that it prints correctly. And I did account for that. That's why you see that the address is here.
Yep.
But I did label everything so that I know how it prints, and obviously we'll test it before we just send it off to the printer. Does that make sense?
if it makes sense to you, it makes sense to me.
Right.
So then page 2 is the inside of that, right?
So page 2 is the inside of that. That is correct. And then it'll unfold one more time, and then we got that big 11 by 17.
Wait a minute, we'll unfold one more time?
Well, yes. So can you guys see me? You can see me, right?
Yeah.
What's the final page size? Is it
Can you
5.5 by
do
8.5 or eight
No,
and a
the
half by
final
11?
page size
11 by
is
17.
11
No,
by
no, final
17.
page, like page when you
Folded.
pick it up, what's
There's a size printed and there's a size folded.
the folded size?
I don't know.
8.5 by 11.
No,
No,
That.
that's not what she's saying.
Well, if it's 11 by 17 to start and you fold it in half, you got 8.5
That's
by
5
11.
and a half by 8 and a.
Unless you do something where it's a barrel fold or a gate fold.
I know how it's folded. Like can you guys see me? I can't see anybody. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I can see you.
I'm gonna stop sharing for just a
And
second.
the printer is capable of doing that kind of fold,
So
Marissa?
this is what David instructed me. So so here is gonna be like our centerfold piece, right?
Which is 11 by 17.
Which is 11 by 17. So this is gonna be Tallulah's story. Okay, and then it's gonna get folded in half like this. Is that right? No, I'm sorry.
That makes 8.5 by 11.
It's gonna get folded in half this way, hot dog way.
What?
This is wrong. Hold on.
That's why I was asking, because
You were right the
11 by
first time.
17
I was right
folded.
the first time. I wish I had an 11 by 17 paper.
That's right. You can use 8.5 by 11. It's the same idea. Is it only supposed to be one page, front and back?
Okay, and then, so here's our intro page, and here's our address.
Right.
Open it up. Here's the left page and the right page that you've got there, page 2 of what you're looking at of that document. And then the centerfold is in the middle.
Oh.
No, that doesn't, no.
No, because what you're doing is you're asking us to change the orientation of reading from this way.
It will be changed. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't give you guys those copies.
But I don't think we should have it unfolds like that. I think you
I-
need,
If you give me just a moment, I have a map from Washtenaw County, and it sounds hokey, but I have a map that has the same fold. And I can show it to you. It's not as hokey as it sounds.
Let's see what it looks like.
All right, give me just a second. I'll be right back.
but that's a map.
Exactly. And it's
That's what you do with maps. You don't fold newsletters that way.
to do is to change the orientation of what you start with.
I think we should go with an 1117, do 2 sheets and
Front and back.
from back, and you may have to tab them in order to mail them.
You know, it depends on what you want, but you could have what's called a barrel fold, where things unfold. So you have 5.5 by 8.5, you know, if you wanted that. So it unfolds like that. Or you could have what's called a gatefold, where again, the finished folded size is 5.5 by 8.5, but you open it up. So this is 8.5 by 11, and then open it up like that, and it's 11 by 17.
See, I
But
was,
you have to plan what it is that goes on what pages for the sequence of information.
so this is the newsletter from the Historical Society. So these are 8.5 by 11 sheets. So
Yep.
that's what you start with is
That's
11 by 17. So
Right.
what I was thinking is we would fold it in half. So now you've got 2 pages like this.
Right.
And then this would be our front.
Right.
And then you'd have, open it up and it would be laid out exactly this,
Right.
it'd be
Right.
2 and 3 here. And then on the back, you'd have half a page of copy and then
Right.
the
Exactly.
address.
Exactly.
Then you fold it in half this way.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's what would arrive to you in
Yes,
the mail.
yes. Yes. Yes.
But you're talking about something different, Marissa, right?
David, we went over this.
I know, and
We went over this in detail before I started because you were confusing me. So here is an 11 by 17 paper. Here's the middle of it. Now, yes, it's a map, and I realize nobody likes the all the way across that I did. We can format that to make 1 page, 2 page, okay? And then it gets folded in half. This is nothing. Like, this is not going to be informative folded this way in half. But when it arrives like this, you have your intro page, and on the back, you would have your address. Open it up. Here's page left, page right of your main story. And then there's one more in the middle, right? And yes, it does change orientation, but I don't know how else to avoid doing that. Unless we were to fold in half and thirds.
If
But
we
then I
fold it like
am gonna
that.
have to send it to the art department because I don't have time to redo the whole thing.
I think we should look at the, kind of the format and then move forward and let the people, if they need to adjust it, let them adjust it. So,
Or just say that's the way it's going to be this time. And
or
then
we can do it.
I really think it's fine. Like, I really think it will be. I mean, when you
Okay.
open it up.
Yeah, let's just do it this time and we'll get wiser and smarter.
if I miscommunicated with you, Marissa, it's
I
not
don't think that you
surprising.
did, David. This is exactly what we talked
We're
about.
we're good. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. People aren't gonna toss it away. They might be intrigued and it might even incite them more, like, hey,
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's that abnormal, really.
I
don't.
think they could be inquisitive about it.
Okay,
So I think it's good. I think pictures, get us pictures and stuff like that, and they'll be read.
Can we do our hand raising again briefly?
Yes, sorry. Good point. Thank
Judith,
Yes. If you want to continue that kind of thing, Marissa, and it's like, as you said, this, and then instead of having stuff go across, maybe it becomes lengthwise instead of
We
switching
could
it.
do that. There's no reason that can't happen.
Yeah, so that it's the same orientation. So if people are, the point is, if you're reading it like this, you open it like that, and suddenly you open it and I have to do that. I mean, it's one more.
I see. To make it long ways instead? I don't think that would be a huge lift.
But it, whatever, or if you want to keep it the way it is, then again.
Changing the size of that middle big piece is easy. Changing the size or like the number of folds becomes very complex.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about now. Yeah.
But yeah, changing the orientation of that second page, I don't think would be very complex. If the printer can take two separate, I think I'd have to send them two separate PDFs, but I don't think that's an issue. I don't see why it would be.
Or do it the way you want it. That's okay. And we can talk about it in the
Yep.
future. Yeah, just
That
do it the
sounds
way you
good.
want to do it then.
Yeah, do it the way you have planned and we'll adjust next time.
Yeah.
We'll be smarter, wiser.
okay, so
Sorry, I didn't raise my hand.
neither did I, but now I'm raising it. And the question that I have is, based on the layout that you have, Marissa, you need to tell us, is there room to fit 3 more photographs, for instance?
I mean, I can always make type smaller. I can reduce white space. It can be tinkered with.
So I'm no, sorry.
Lenore.
I'm good with everything. I like, I guess, we go back to it? I like the Northfield
yeah.
Land Preserve. I don't know what page, but the LPC hosts first many hikes, and I like all that formatting. And then I get to the last page. So I like that. I think that's good. That's good. It's readable. It's got pictures. We might put another picture. That's all good. Maybe a couple more pictures. So if we do, then we could be in trouble.
Well, that's the question. When you go to page 2 there, whoops.
Hold on, it's separate. I'm getting it.
Like, for instance, on this page that we're looking at,
It's too much.
there's too much copy with only one piece of nice artwork.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, I can mix this up. And also we made How Does Township Preserve Land much smaller.
Right. And
So
also,
that table can be smaller. Like there's a lot of opportunity to add things here. I don't know if I'll be able to add 3 pictures, but I can add at least 2 pictures.
Well, you
So-
can,
Yeah, I think the more pictures, the people are going to see the pictures. That's going to increase your readability
Yep.
or it's just going to, the attractiveness of it. So I would even edit copy, and I know I probably don't want to edit copy, but I think photos definitely.
So we're talking about one more photo for the local shop your local farms on this page.
Wait. Why are we adding a photo for that, for local farms?
Because it adds a piece of art to this page and makes it more interesting.
I have my hand up.
I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. Sorry, Lila.
That's okay. Well, we could also change the opacity of pictures and we could, have them very light and still, not compromise our text. I mean, that's stuff that they do, in other newsletters. I don't know what section right here, but, if we want to just add more color, more interest, we could do that too. Without
Lenore?
compromising space.
Lenore?
So as a reader, if the font stays this way, I will not read roots or how does the township preserve land. I will go straight to shop your local farms and that's it.
Yeah, so I already have in my notes from feedback that I will change this to 2 pages.
Okay.
And
so-
honestly, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to change the orientation of this while I'm at it.
Okay.
So if you all think that it would be better for it to be, hot dog way instead of hamburger way,
yeah,
I'm-
that's fine, you can leave it, whatever.
I mean, I don't have a preference. I would be okay switching it. But right now, the way this page is the print is too small and I would not read it. The only thing I would go to is the local farmers because that print's big, it's a table and my eyes will go there.
I see. Because the print is bigger, because the print is not small, it just looks small next to that print. I mean, it's the same size on the first page.
Yeah, right. So it just, because it's a table, my eyes are going to go there and the other 2 are too small and I'm not going to even read them. That's just my personal, how I would do it. I would read, I'm going to definitely read, I don't even know if I'm going to read our first page, but I'll probably read the table, just me. But I will definitely read the next page because it looks bigger. It has pictures, it has tables. I'm going to be intrigued by that one. This page is, to me, the print is way too small, not enough pictures. So you lost me as a reader.
I can't make the print bigger. Like, it's
Yeah.
the same size throughout the whole document. I
It
can't.
just
make the print
doesn't look
bigger,
that. It's
but
amazing. 'cause it
I can
does
break
not
it
look that.
up. Well, it's the zoom on your screen too, because this page is twice as big.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, I get it. I
So
get
it's
it.
looking different on your screen, but when we
Okay,
print
I
it,
get it. Okay, so you need more pictures and it needs to be a little bit, because I will skip over this.
All right, Judith, you had something you wanted to say?
Just that, and Marissa and I talked about that this line length under roots is too long. And that will, if you change that or put another image, that will help.
I'll
But what
change
Nora's
that.
talking about is what's called hierarchy of information. And so there are many ways, to, to, deal with that. And, it might be at this point, again, we have what we have, and we can talk about what maybe we could do in the future. And I understand your comment. Just out of curiosity, Marissa, what is the point size?
Let me check. When I switch my screen, does it switch for you guys? It's 10. It's Garamond 10.
Ah, okay, 10. Another thing to think about is the amount of leading, or the space between the lines, but that's another way to sort of help issues of legibility, readability. But again, we can, talk more about that later.
Well, I'm going to completely reorganize this page to add photos. At least one photo. Is that what I'm understanding? We need to add a photo to Shop Local Farms.
Yes.
No, now there's a possibility that when I start moving things around because we've edited copy, that things might have to switch pages. Is that okay? Like, is that going to be okay? Like, as long as there's pictures and visual interest on each page?
It's okay by me.
I would say yes.
Like the intro page, I think should stay as it is. That's our
Yes.
statement. But the other pages, I think there needs to be some flexibility there in case I need to move
Right,
things.
exactly. You got to give
Right.
the designer some room.
Right. Lenore?
So we always typically write things so that the bottom can start to be deleted up. So if you need more space, you start deleting the bottom away.
Yep, got it.
Yep, that's newsprint, news writing 101.
Right, so anyway.
Well,
Oh, okay, so we have could I say something here? We've got, maybe you already addressed this, Marissa, I missed it, but we've got a photograph with the hike. And next to it says caption here.
Yes, that. Let me
Oh,
go back to
boy.
that. Oh boy, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Can somebody else share this by chance so that I can get off of here? So I can go to that.
the other thing I just want to point out is that with the edits we've made, that text on that center is already going to come down. Where about the preservation, how do you preserve it?
Right, that's going to be shorter.
So they're already going to be reducing the amount of text there.
I can share this document and my screen if somebody will. Let me see. Share screen.
Yeah, the caption, I didn't know. I just was out of energy and I'm like, yep, we'll put a nice caption here. And I thought it would be nice. I was waiting to hear back from the hike subcommittee about their plans of what's going to happen next. I thought that might be a good thing to add to that caption. Like, stay tuned, make sure to follow us on Facebook for info about our fall color hike or whatever.
That was one of my edits that I put in there with the guided hike of, look for more information about a fall colors hike.
Am I screen sharing with everybody now?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this what you wanted, Marissa, is to have this?
Yeah. So you can see that caption. Yeah, okay, so here's the photo. First of all, do we like this photo from the hike?
That's
And
fine.
does anyone have an idea of how to caption it?
Well, I think you guys talked about it, stay tuned for more hikes, follow us on Facebook.
Do we have that does the hike subcommittee have any information to add that's concrete?
Judith does.
Yeah, Tallulah and I talked, and that's what I put in one of the edits, that with the guided hike, towards the end, it said, look for more information, in the future for a fall colors hike. Right, Tallulah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember where it was, but I know that I saw it, I approved it or I looked over it for you.
I mean, the caption should just read, local residents enjoying Whitmore Lake Preserve.
Right.
Something really simple. It's
Yeah.
not clever.
I don't
I
know.
just
You
was-
even need I don't know if you need a caption.
Yeah, maybe you don't need one.
I don't think you need one.
Well, I need to add somewhere in here about what's to come in the future. Maybe it's just literally like, follow us on Facebook for information about future hikes.
You could
Yeah.
say that, yeah, or follow us on Facebook.
Well, it's, just even
or
great
just
people
say-
enjoying a great hike.
Or just say, stay tuned for more information about future hikes.
Yeah, we're
Or
planning.
look for more information in the future about future hikes.
Or,
Oh,
so
yeah.
are we looking at the caption here?
Yes.
So I don't know. I think it'd be, join us next time. Hope to see you next time. Come join us next time, I don't know.
Yeah. And then-
I like that. I just want to give them something. Like if we're not going to tell
Right.
them what the next thing is,
Yeah.
where do they get the next thing? know?
Missed you, see you
that's
next
where-
time.
That's what we were saying, that, look for information in the future about the 2021 fall colors hike.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all we need to say. We don't say where or what or when.
Okay.
Do we have our Facebook is listed there, actually in the do you know thing at the bottom. Facebook is right there.
Right.
So you could mention Facebook in that blue box and then
Right.
they'll see it down
Well,
below.
does that represent our conversation okay about the hike? There'd be a fall.
Yeah, I think it does.
Fall colors.
Yeah.
Residents enjoy, okay, so now I have the caption as, and obviously I'm open for feedback again, because there was a lot of stuff being thrown out there. Residents enjoying the Whitmore Lake Preserve. Stay tuned for our next hike, fall colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Works.
Or stay tuned for our next event, a fall colors hike.
Or maybe just say, we look forward to seeing you this fall or something, I don't know. Because what if something happens, we don't do fall colors? What if we,
I like the one you had. So if they don't, they won't remember.
That's true.
I think yours was more succinct and I liked it.
Residents enjoying the Whitmore Lake Preserve. Stay tuned for our next event, or fall colors hike.
What was that? I can't see it.
I didn't make it because they aren't going to show changes
Okay.
here.
Okay. So what did you say
Um,
again, Marissa?
It says, residents enjoying the Whitmore Lake Preserve. Stay tuned for our next event, a fall colors hike.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Or you can just say, hope to see you at our next event. And just leave it with that.
I like that one better, Judith. Like, hope to see you at our next event.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. How we doing, Madam or Mr. Chair?
We're good.
We're doing great. I think that we've completed going over the, I don't need to have screen sharing on anymore, do I?
Yes, you do.
Okay. If we're done with the formatting and the changes that people want there, what's left other than I'm going to send Marissa some photographs and she's going to make the changes that we discussed tonight and add in the photographs and we'll send it off to the printer as PDFs. Unless somebody else has something else to talk about regarding the newsletter.
I would like to make a motion to allow me to make these changes as discussed and send to the printer.
I second.
I mean, David, obviously you guys can look at it. I don't need to, do this by myself, but we need to have some sort of motion as a result of this meeting.
Yes.
That's fine.
So,
All right, so let's have a motion, a friendly amendment to have the final product reviewed by the subcommittee and then sent to the printer.
Can we, I mean, I'll support that amendment. Or friendly amendment. So do we have a date in mind? I'd like to know what date we're going to have this done.
so I don't have the bandwidth to like go do a bunch of back and forth and a bunch more meetings,
Nope,
just
I
being
know.
perfectly honest.
We're done. I
Um,
think, okay, go
Well,
ahead.
if we can do this via email, I can have something to you. What's today? Monday? Like Thursday afternoon at the latest.
Yes, that's fine, because the deadline that we're
That's
working.
the
toward right now-
latest. Like, I'll probably do it tonight,
Okay,
but I don't want to
that'll be
commit
fine.
because my family needs me right now. So
David,
All right, so, yeah, Judith.
what's the turnaround time for the printer? In other words, how long does it take them to produce it once they get it?
Just a couple of days. And the problem, we don't have a deadline for getting it out by the end of June. We have a deadline for having the invoice
Okay,
delivered to us, and that's not going to be a problem. So,
uh,
so basically, Marissa's going to finish it by tonight or Thursday. I'll recognize you in a second, Tallulah,
Okay,
now that I see you. And we're not going to be making any changes there, Marissa. We're just going to be proofreading and just, unless there's some glaring thing, I'm sure we have a
Right.
lot of confidence in your skill set here. So that's all. That's the only reason I wanted to see it again.
yeah, and I would love to have another set of eyes on it. Wasn't my intent. My intent was I just can't have 3 more rounds of this.
Right, okay.
You know,
Tallulah?
if we're gonna have like $2,000 left over, are we just gonna let that money go? Or do we want to use a portion of that money to make signs or something for upcoming events? Or do we want to talk about what we might do with that extra money?
That's
I
a
think we
good,
should-
I'm glad you brought that up. Lenore?
I think we should vote on this motion and then move that to a different discussion.
the motion reads, motion by President, support by Moldenhauer to allow the Branding and Language Subcommittee to make the changes as discussed and send to the printer. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Motion passes.
um, question?
Judith?
Yes, how many copies are being printed and what exactly is the cost of all of everything?
I've got a cost of printing 1,500 of them at, I got a quote of $1,900, but I talked to them and they said they might be able to do better and drop it to somewhere around 1,500 to 1,600 for the printing or $1.07 per copy, plus the postage.
Does that include then folding too?
You know, I didn't ask about folding, but
Because that's got to be in the folding, because if they just print it and give it to you flat, then that won't work.
no, they're
We're
going to
mailing
get it into the mail. They're going to address them and put the postage
Well,
on.
they're
and
doing
get
the
'em-
mailing too?
Yes. No, the mailing is the 30, it's 0.311 cents. It's 31.1 cents per print.
Okay.
And this is bulk postage, right?
Yeah.
And you have the indicia for that and everything. Sorry, it's just that I've done so much of this in the past.
I'm sure they do. All they need from us is the list of people to send it to.
Right, but the indicia is something that we have to have. They don't have it, we have it. We
I don't
have-
even know that word I don't even know what that word is. Indicia.
It's the mailing. If you look at stuff that you get in the mail, that it's sent out and it says an indicia where the stamp would go, it has a number. That's what you put in. Otherwise, you have to put in a first-class stamp.
Well, they've done mailings for me before without first-class stamps, so they do have that capability. I mean, it's a professional printing outfit that has done mailings, and they were going to send me the quote. I haven't seen it in my inbox yet.
Maybe
It's
you
just
should
something I
stop
would
sharing.
have to check on, that's all.
You're gonna go under your email.
Share, Tom, or whatever your name is.
Stop sharing your
Okay, it's
screen.
getting late.
Yeah.
So how much are we talking about, David?
Around $2,000 total.
Okay, around $2,000. So let's say,
Sounds really low
let's
to
say
me.
it's 2,500.
Sounds awfully low.
Let's say 2,500. It does.
We're only talking about 1,500 mailings.
Yeah, we might want to do more mailings.
And
So
if we
we'll
do
look
more,
at
it'll
that.
cost more, but we have more money, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Once we figure out what our mailing list is, then we'll know a better idea what the price is, but we know what it is at $1.07 per document in color, 11 by 17 folded and addressed.
All right, let's just even say it's $3,000.
Yeah.
So that
All
leaves,
right.
and going back to Tallulah, her comment, it leaves $2,000. So she's right. Do we want to print some yard signs up or do something with it? That, again, not just to spend the money, obviously, but to be able to use it and future points.
Right, Marissa?
I don't think that we should be having this discussion without that being on our agenda.
Okay.
And I also don't think, I mean, if we wait till our next meeting, the time has lapsed. Like, I think our window of opportunity to act on something else has passed.
Okay.
Because I
That's-
don't think that it would be the right thing to do to talk about how to spend the extra budget money now with it not being on our agenda.
I agree.
Okay.
Judith?
Yes, I would suggest printing more than what you just mail out, because we could set them in different places for people to pick up. So it's not just a mailing, but it's something that's available that can be distributed at meetings. They can be placed in stores. It could be placed wherever. So that will increase. And I don't, all I'm saying is check about the mailing, because if we have to have an indicia, or just take care of that, because if it has to go first class mail, that's going to spike the cost right up there. Because bulk mailing is a whole different game.
Do you think, David, do you think that Judith could be CC'd on the email, or you could send her what you receive from the printer to see if she has any questions or concerns about the quote, or, anything, since she's got a lot of experience with it?
It's a good suggestion. I'll definitely do that.
I'd be glad to, talk with them just to double check what we're getting, that's all. And I can let you and Marissa know, just to double check.
Yeah, that would be fine. I will make sure that you get CC'd on the invoice that I get. It's a good idea for a number of reasons.
And it's okay with you if I call the printer just to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. I don't want to, anybody to think I'm going around them or do anything like that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh. We're a
All right,
team.
so we will have, and I'll get a price for doing more copies, because we would like to put them around town and at the township hall and at the meetings. That's an excellent idea, Judith.
Are
Very
they
good.
delivering them to you? Oh, you're sending them out, but then if we have some that aren't mailed, how are we getting them?
I'll go get them. I'll just go.
Or
I'll
they can
drive down
send it.
there.
That could be part of the price too, shipping.
It's no big deal. They're just on the other side of town.
Okay.
Are we done with the newsletter? I think I'm done. I don't see anybody else with their hand raised, so let's go to, on our agenda, the second call. Did you raise your hand?
No, I was waving at Tallulah because she just turned her camera on. I haven't seen her yet today. Or if she did have her camera on earlier,
Oh,
I
there
did. It
she is.
wasn't looking
Hi.
at the screen. So I was like,
kitchen.
hi, Tallulah. That's sorry.
so
Carry on.
Let's go to the second call of the public. If anybody would like to speak, please raise your hand. At the bottom of your screen, there's a way to press a little hand icon, and we'll see that you've raised your hand. Seeing no public participation at this point, would close the call to the public and move on to committee member comments. Lenore?
Great job, Marissa. Great job. Awesome. Thanks for doing all this and all the hard work. And everybody's input tonight, very good. We work very good as a team, but I do truly appreciate all the effort that you put it to get us here to be able to have this discussion. Marissa, thank you so much. Good job. Great
Judith.
job.
And I'd like to also really thank Marissa for all that she's done to pull this together. And just in general, I'm very impressed with the way she's organized things for this committee with the Google Docs and everything. Hats off to her for everything on this. And again, for everybody who contributed written material, it was great. And especially Tallulah, your personal statement was really cool. But I know David put a lot of work in, and I think Lenore is absolutely right. This kind of team effort, and as a designer, that's exactly what it's about. It's not, somebody going off in the corner and making magic or something, but it's a collective kind of process. And so I want to just say thank you to everybody. Thanks, Lenore and David and Tallulah and Marissa and Sue for all of your comments.
I'll
And
comment.
I'd like, go ahead, Marissa.
But I just wanted to say that it is a team effort, and I really felt the love from everybody this time, like getting their stuff in on time. And I thought everybody was really open to feedback, and so I thought that the whole process went really well. We don't all work in jobs where we're constantly receiving feedback, but I think that that it was good. I thought it was a good process.
And I would like to say, Marissa is my hero. She does drive everything here in many ways in terms of, I don't know if you bothered to see or if you saw the list of things that she already sent to me in terms of what she's doing as the secretary. It's just mind-blowing how many items she's on top of. And it comes through in preparation and how we get things accomplished here. It's a team effort. I really do appreciate the story that Tallulah put together, all the hard work organizing things on a regular basis that Marissa does. I'm excited to have Judith on board for our future newsletters and artwork, who you can hopefully help take some of the burden off of Marissa. And Lenore is a sounding board for me. She does a very good job of tempering the things that I want to put in there, which some people may find that I push the envelope a little harder than others would in terms of what I want to get done. But we do work together really well as a team, and I'm looking forward to more successes as we continue with this work. So thank you all for your contributions.
Yay.
And with that, I would make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Aye.
How
Aye.
many of us are there left now? 4? Is that right?
5.
5. Okay.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
I believe Sue and Christina have fallen off.
Right. That's what I mean. So I need to put the number in. So is there just 5? Is there still 5? There is still 5.
Five.
Aye.
We had
Aye.
5 at the beginning, 5 now, and had 7 in the middle.
At some point. All right, and I will get you that stuff ASAP, Marissa.
Sounds good. And I will start working on it as soon as I receive those things.
Great.
Marissa, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Y'all have a good night.
Adios.
You all too. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.